Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? It's John. Thank you so much for tuning in. This video, I want to share with you guys my top 10 favorite movies that are trilogy movies. There's so many good movies. I'm a huge movie fan, and I'm curious to see what your guys' top 10. It took me a while to come up with this list because there's a lot of good trilogies out there to check out. And let's start with number 10. And please, guys, please leave a comment. Let me know what your guys' top movie trilogies are as well. I'm sure we'll all have different lists, which is great, and that's totally fine. But we're going to start with my list. This is number 10 on my list. Number 10 on my list would be the Evil Dead trilogy. The first one came out in 1981, followed by the Evil Dead 2, 1987, and finally Army of Darkness, 1992. Army of Darkness is almost like, these movies are almost like comedy horror. I mean, it's so great. The first one's so over the top, gory. I'm not a huge horror fan. It's not my genre I really care for. I mean, I like horror movies, but I'm not like it's not like my bread and butter when it comes to movies. But these are great movies, really, funny, some of the most quoted movies of all time. And the first one was very cheesy and tacky, but the second one is definitely when they had a bigger budget, definitely worth seeing. But Army of Darkness, man, this is one of the most highly quoted movies of all time, and for a reason, it's so funny to watch. This is the Evil Dead trilogy. Number 9 on my list would be the Matrix trilogy. Of course, you had the first Matrix, which was in 1999, and then the second and third one were filmed around the same time. It came out fairly close. They came out in 2003. It's crazy. It's been 17 years since the last Matrix. And I hear they're making a new Matrix with Keanu Reeves, which is awesome. But first one by far one of the better movies. The special effects, even for 1999, I mean, amazing. And it's really got you to think outside the box when it came to movies. The second and third one were okay. The first one still carried the momentum. I'm really curious on the fourth one what they're going to do. But Matrix trilogy, really fun trilogy, really something to check out. And that's number 9 on my list. Number 8 on my list would be the Alien Trilogy. This first one, Alien, is 1979, followed by Aliens, 1986, and then the third one, the trilogy, is 1992. I know they've had other Alien movies, but I'm just going to count the core trilogy here for Alien movies. Again, a great horror movie, special effects, amazing, really groundbreaking special effects with aliens and the slime. I mean, some of the scenes, crazy cinematography, how they filmed it. Sigourney Weaver, amazing actress to play, chosen to play in this film. If you haven't seen any of the Alien movies, do yourself a favor. They're a must-see. Number 7 on my list would be the Spider-Man trilogy. The first one is Spider-Man 2002, second one would be 2004, Spider-Man 2, and then the third one is 2007. These Marvel movies, I mean, these came out right when the push for comic book movies is around the time of like X-Men, which is another good trilogy, X-Men 1 through 3, by the way. But really fun. I thought Tobey Maguire played a really good Peter Parker in this movie. I almost said Toby Parker. And really good stories, good characters. I felt they followed the comics for the most part. Really one of my favorite Marvel movies, to be honest with you, and they've aged really well. I can't believe it's, again, I feel old. I can't believe it's been 13 years since the last Spider-Man movie in this trilogy. Of course, they've done other Amazing Spider-Man and all that, but if you want to watch Spider-Man movies, these are the top 3 to watch, for sure. Number 6 on my list. These movies are so funny. The Naked Gun Trilogy. Naked Gun, of course, The Naked Gun. You have, that came out in 1988. You have Naked Gun 2 and a Half, which came out in 1991. And you have Naked Gun 33 and 1/3, 1994. Of course, they feature Leslie Nielsen, rest in peace. But some of the slapstick comedy, man, these are so funny, so cheesy yet funny. And I was watching the third one the other day, and they just, even though I've seen it a million times, they're just so funny, and just probably one of the most funny trilogies I've ever seen in movies, and even relevant today, which is great. So highly recommend Naked Gun Trilogy. Hilarious. Number 5 on my list would be the Star Wars sequels. So episode 7 through 9. These are the most recent sequels. Overall, I thought as a whole these movies were good. I think of the 3, my least favorite would be The Last Jedi. But it felt more Star Wars to me than the prequels, so to speak. I liked Kylo Ren, I like Rey, Poe. I thought the characters were well developed for the most part, and I felt that with Rise of Skywalker, I felt that no spoilers or anything like that, but I felt they really wrapped up the characters pretty well for that. So definitely some better Star Wars movies in my opinion. Number 4 would be the Indiana Jones trilogy, not counting Crystal Skulls, of course, which would be the 4th movie in the series, which would not make it a trilogy, but I'm counting the first original 3. Awesome adventure movie. Harrison Ford, of course, Indiana Jones. Really cool. I mean, who doesn't like Nazi movies? And just there's some parts that are funny, and the special effects have done pretty well. Watching Temple of Doom, which came out in 1984, that movie's pretty scary, where they rip out the heart and all that, right? But going from Raiders of the Lost Ark, 81, and the last one was 1989, Temple of Doom, or I'm sorry, Last Crusade, and that's probably my favorite of the three. It was Last Crusade, but great trilogy. Secret Skulls was okay as well, but man, these three really stood out to me for better Indiana Jones movies, and I hear they're making a new one, which is cool. And Harrison Ford is getting kind of up there in age. It will be interesting how that turns out. Number 3 on my list would be Back to the Future trilogy. Man, I'd love to see another Back to the Future. I know they've talked about it, and I don't think they're ever going to do it. Of the three, I think the first one's probably my favorite, followed by the second one, and then the third one. Really creative storytelling with this time machine, and there's been other movies out there about time travel and all that, but this is one that I felt was fit the pop culture pretty well at the time. And really cool how the second one kind of tied in with the first one, and really creative. They all kind of tied in together. I thought Michael J. Fox, great character to cast for the lead of Marty McFly. Overall, great set of movies. In fact, I'm probably going to watch them with my kids here shortly. I have an itch to watch them again. Really fun, great movies. Number 2 on my list would be Lord of the Rings trilogy. The first one being Fellowship of the Rings, that would be 2001. Two Towers, 2002, and then Return of the King would be 2003. I like the Hobbit trilogy too. That was like my honorable mention. I would say would be the Hobbit trilogy. Another honorable mention would be probably the prequels, the Star Wars prequels. Yeah, but going back to the Lord of the Rings, really follow the books well. I mean, the cinematography, the special effects, the casting, the wardrobes. I felt that really Peter Jackson did a great job. If you haven't seen these movies, definitely check them out. Great stories for sure. Number 1 on my list, for those who know me, has to be the original Star Wars trilogy. This is A New Hope, Episode 4, Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, which is still my favorite movie of all time, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. I'm getting all mixed up with the names here, but Return of the Jedi, number 6. I mean, really, when you think Star Wars, you have to think of the original trilogy, right? This is the ones that developed those characters, really wrapped up really well towards the end of Return of the Jedi. And the first one, Episode 4, is what kicked it off, right, with the character development. And these, I prefer the unedited special editions, right? The unspecial editions. These are the ones that were how they were meant to be. Laserdisc versions are probably the best to watch because I felt George Lucas did a mistake by going and adding the Jabba the Hutt scene in Episode 4. It just doesn't really work because even in that scene, they call him like a person or human. I mean, it was just weird. But I'm talking about the unedited special editions. These are the ones to watch for sure. These are the premiere versions. Anyway, that is my list of top trilogies, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm curious to see what you guys' lists are. Thank you for being subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. And we'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.